I wonder what else I can gnomify. What do you think, Biscuit? Ryan?
She's out of control.
Am I out of control? What do you think about this new year, honey?
I think that it's a little bit too gnome obsessed.
You think I'm gnome obsessed? What? You look adorable. Bisky likes it.
She does. Happy New Year's, everybody.
Welcome to Simply Blessed Crafts. Happy New Year. Alright guys, so welcome back. Happy New Year. This is For the Love of Crafting, and it is hosted by Rustic and Lace DIYs and Krista's Crafty Life, and this is the first of the month collaboration. DIY number 1. If you haven't guessed, we are doing a couple of gnomes, but these are a couple of them that I actually did for Christmas presents that I had already made up for the Christmas season. So I'm just doing these because they're cute and I wanted you guys to see them. I do not actually have a live final reveal for you, so it's just gonna be a couple of pictures. There's only 2, but I do have an extra one that I wanted to show you, so I do have an extra one in there that I took a picture of that I showed you. Anyway, I do have these little cans. They're like candy. They're like little soda pop candy. They come in a thing of 6. I got these from just a gas station. And I just cut down a piece of paper. You kind of saw me do that. This is for my nephew. It's actually my husband's nephew. But, you know, we're married, so he's my nephew. Anyway, long story short, doesn't matter. He wanted a Pepsi Gnome, so I made him one for Christmas. So here I'm just basically cutting down a piece of paper, and I'm painting the logo myself. So I got some blue paint. It's like cobalt blue, and then I got some red paint here. And I'm just basically just painting the logo as best as I can by copying a picture. Going around with some white paint now and just basically painting the logo as best as I could. I had to look it up on my phone, and I had to try to remember. I don't drink Pepsi, so I had to try to remember what the newest logo looked like. They changed it so many dang times that I don't know what the heck the new logo looked like. Anyway, so after I get this kind of to where it looked somewhat like it's supposed to, I did have to go in and fill in a little bit more of that red after I get that white in there filled in. And now I'm going to go in with some black, jet black paint, and I'm just going to basically paint on the Pepsi words here. And then basically is all I do is you can use tape for this, but sometimes they tend to slip off the plastic on this, but I just use hot glue on this one to make sure that it wasn't gonna slip off. So I basically just glue all the way around this little can. These are actually like perfect size for these little gnomes to hold. They actually might be a little big, but it does work. These just must be like the jumbo cans. They have the jumbo cans for us, you know. These are the jumbo cans for them. Anyway. So here and now I'm going to work on the body for our gnome. I do show you this one. My next gnome, I do not show that. So I cut it off right where their heel is. And then I am going to fill it with rice. You can use polyfill, you can use, or not polyfill, you can use poly beads, you can use rice, you can use rocks, you can use pebbles, sand, whatever floats your boat. And then I fill it up again, or the rest of the way, with polyfill. You don't have to use polyfill. You can use plastic bags. You can use, leftover fluff from an old pillow, or whatever you have on hand, old fabric, whatever you want to fill up your little gnome with. I do use rubber bands to tie it off with, and then I also use some jute twine to make sure that it's nice and tight up there, just for security purposes. I am now going to cut the rest of that sock up that I used for the body. I'm going to cut it in 2 pieces here, and these are going to be for his arms. I only show you one arm, but I grab a couple of pipe cleaners, and I'm going to I fold it in half, and then I'm going to cut off the excess, and then I am just going to glue and fold, and then glue again, and then fold. I do cut off the excess fluff off of the sock, and then after the other one is done, I'm going to grab a couple of wooden beads, and I'm just going to glue them down to the little ends. These are going to be for his hands. I didn't show this part because I did kind of mess up on it. First of all, it's upside down. So I messed up on that. And second of all, the logo was kind of messed up too. I didn't like that it was so close to the top of the hat. So I decided I was going to scrap that piece, and I was going to do this part of the hat. So I didn't really show too much of that. But I basically just glued the edges around the hat to kind of get more of a cuff of it, because I did have to cut the opposite direction of it. I usually like to use the cuff of the sock where you usually put your foot in for the top of the hat, but then the logo would be upside down, like I messed up on that other one. So I had to cut where your little toes are at the sock to make the logo right side up. So to do that, I kind of flip the sock inside out, and then kind of flip the sock edge into where you can make a cuff and kind of glue the red edges around it anyway. Right now I'm just kind of gluing his little hands underneath his hat. I just stuffed him in there, and then I'm just kind of gluing underneath his arm, and then I'll glue the hat down on his arm like that. That's kind of what I'm doing. And then I put his beard on, of course. You saw me do that. And now I'm going to move a little bit of a spot out of the way on his little beard. And we're going to stick his little nose down. And then we're just going to glue his little nose right to his hat. Or his hat down to his nose, however you want to say it. I do kind of glue around the little edges of his nose here to kind of make sure he sticks really well. I kind of fluff around. I do glue the back of his hat down. You want to make sure everything's glued down really well. when you start stuffing the hat like this is kind of where you're gonna see where your hat's gonna start puffing up around your body and where you're gonna have to glue more. See how I'm kind of stuffing down, because your beard edge will start to show and stuff, so you're not gonna want to see the edge of the beard and stuff like that. So you're kind of gonna see where you're gonna need to glue more. I'm gonna grab a couple of rubber bands, and I'm gonna tie off where I want the hat to stop, and then I'm gonna cut off the excess here. You're also gonna need a piece of jute twine or ribbon. I grab a piece of ribbon, and I'm gonna tie that piece off there. I used a ribbon for this one because I wanted it to be a little bit more decorative. I went with red because red does have a little bit of color for the Pepsi logo. And now we're gonna grab our little Pepsi can, and we're gonna glue it down to his little hands so it looks like he's holding it. And he is all finished, you guys. DIY number 2. Now this one is going to be very similar. I have made one like this before, but this one is a little bit of backstory. So my sister-in-law, she actually used to live in Alaska. So this is one of the reasons why I decided to make her one of these for Christmas. First of all, there's a moose on these socks, so it fit with that kind of Alaskan territory there. So I grabbed one of these socks. These are very, very thick. They have a liner in it. So I didn't want to do with the liner because with the hat, they were going to be very, very thick. So I cut the toes off of it like I kind of described before, and we're gonna kind of do what we did before. We're gonna kind of glue that, and we're gonna push the inner part of it in to kind of make a cuff. And I grabbed the liner, as you saw, and I pulled it up through the sock to where it's not going to make the sock so thick. And we're gonna use that as our hat. Now our body is already decorative, so that was kind of nice. I used this beard. It's very sparkly and everything. It kind of makes it look like it has ice crystals. So it looks like he has been out in the snow-covered mountains for a long time and everything. Like I said, I have made one of these before on my channel. It actually hasn't been that long ago. But like I said, I had a couple of these in mind. One of these I did want to make for my sister-in-law for Christmas. We are going to glue a little big nose on him. And then we're going to glue his hat right down to his little nose like we did before. But I thought this one fit a little bit more for her decor and stuff like that. She really likes the outdoors and the Alaska frontier kind of decor stuff because she has lived in Alaska and stuff like that. I did have another pair of snowshoe ornaments that we're gonna grab here in a minute after I get done stuffing her hat a little, or his hat a little bit. I didn't go real decorative with the hat on this one, So I did just grab a piece of jute twine and tie this one off because it was a little bit more rustic, and we were okay with rustic, so I just grabbed a little jute twine to kind of give it a little bit of a bow. Just make sure it's really tight. And then, like I said, I had another pair of these snowshoes, and with being up in the, you know, north up there, you need stuff like this, so I thought this would fit. So we're going to actually, you know, just glue him right down to the little snowshoes. These are actually missing a little bell, so I do end up changing that here in a minute. Just gotta make sure he's all sitting real nice on there. This snowshoe was starting to come off. He was starting to come apart a little bit. So I just put a little hot glue on it and he's all good to go. So what's nice about putting it or giving it to family, I can always fix it. So I did remove the bell. Like I said, one of them was missing a bell, and I decided we were just gonna put little buttons on there instead, because I didn't have a little bell to match the other one, so we put little buttons instead of there. So, and then that's all for him, and she loved him. So here's the final reveal, you guys. Like I said, it's just pictures because they're actually, you know, in their new homes, but there's the little Pepsi guy. He turned out really cute. Nephew loved him. So, and then here's the little Alaska dude. He turned out super cute. And then this next one I made for my mom. Like I said, I didn't actually get a chance to film this one, but my mom fell in love with him. She loves the Scrooge shows, like the Christmas carols. So I made her a little Scrooge, and she absolutely fell in love with him. Thank you guys for watching. God bless. Make sure you guys go check everybody out on the playlist, and love y'all.